Okay. We have the minutes from the last meeting. Is there a motion to accept the minutes?
I make a motion to accept the minutes from the November meeting.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and second. Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Correspondence, the only correspondence that we got was from the Conservation District. And I guess they've reviewed what the engineers had submitted. There's a couple deficiencies that the engineers are looking at. Will get corrected.
Very good.
Treasury report.
Our balance is $62,797.57. The bills that we need to pay tonight are K&L and H Engineers for $200, Sherry Crawford for $255.98. You have Blonsky, Costello, and Leckie for $484.25. And Jablonski, Costello, Leckie for $73.25. And also a bill, Gary Forner paid the post office box. It's $92. We gotta reimburse him. So our payment tonight is $1,105.48. That's the extent of my report.
Short and sweet. Good
Yes,
job.
I like it like that.
It's correct, it works.
Is there a motion to accept the financial report and to pay the bills?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and second. Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Solicitors report.
And an update on the easements and an update on the plant site property. So I'll defer until we get to old business and we can discuss it then.
Very good. Engineers report.
All right, thank you. You should have a copy of our report. Again, the major things are the permitting and the easements, working with Eric's office. So we do have actually two comment letters from the Conservation District, one for the Chapter 105, the
Yeah.
stream crossings, the wetlands. That's a little less involved than the notice of intent, the NPDS for stormwater discharges. So we're working through both of those comment letters. We owe the Conservation District a response by, I believe it's January 12th.
12th or 14th. something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, you have 60 days to respond, so that's in the works. One other update, we did meet with the utility company, went to all 5 sites, 4 pump stations, plus the plant. Good news for the plant and the Westland pump station, 3-phase, 480 volt power is available. So the cost will include in the contract. The allowances should be minimal for those 2 sites. McCarroll, Allison, and Southview pump stations, they're the one we're about 2,500 feet away with 3-phase power. So initial comments from the power company, it could be 200 grand to run 3-phase power. And because of the size of the pumps, we basically need 3-phase. So they're evaluating that. They'll get back to us with what exactly that cost will be. So that's all in the works. And again, those will be allowances in the contract when we go to bid. So otherwise, I think I'll just, as we talk about the easements,
Okay.
so any questions you guys have, I'll be happy to answer them.
Anybody have anything?
I don't
I don't have
know.
anything at this time. Okay, we'll open it up for citizens' comments. Please state your name and your address.
Stanley Cass, Westland. I submitted a series of questions through the website on November the 4th. Did not receive them? Somebody is shaking his head like this and no one else is shaking.
I didn't see it.
I don't remember seeing it. You remember?
On the website?
Yeah, it went to
I don't look at the website.
mab@mpt-pa.com. I got a
We'll have to look
copy.
at that.
Well, we believe you.
Yeah.
No, I got a copy I could give you if you don't have it.
Well, we probably could use the questions.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so,
Well, I'll just leave this with you then.
okay.
And that way there's no loss in electronic communication.
All right, I will get some copies made for everybody. Sorry,
Yeah, I submitted one on the 4th and I didn't hear any responses, so I couldn't make the last meeting.
I think in fairness, Paul was the only one that really paid any attention to that.
on the
in past.
website,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never
And,
actually been on it.
I don't know.
So I don't know that
I don't even
anyone
know.
I don't even know if we
has
have
even
any
been doing
codes to
that.
get on it.
Right, I don't know.
I'll make a note.
The
I'll
website's
check.
pretty clear. It says you got questions, submit it to the website, so.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
well, you were right. It
unfortunately-
was, Paul was really handling anything and everything come in on the website.
The other thing I think I understood was that they were looking at redoing the website to update it.
or the township website.
Yeah, I know somebody can do that.
We've already contracted with somebody.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we'll look at them, we'll get copies, and have everybody look at it.
Because some of those questions go back to 2016. I haven't got an answer from
Okay.
yet.
We'll get that to everybody's hands tonight.
Thank you.
Yep. Anything else? Anybody else? Old business. One thing before, as far as easements go, 111 Main Street. That's a house that was for sale up here. It was sold,
Recently,
yes.
in the last month?
Yes. And I had to meet the realtor down here and sign the easement.
Oh, yeah, they called. Okay, I wasn't picking up on the address, but yes,
And
they
I
called.
signed it because they had to file that, and they were gonna pay to file it and everything,
Right,
before the people that bought it could get their mortgage.
right. They had contacted me and I told them that, they were saying about signing it on their end. I said, well, we're gonna need it signed also by Gary. And I said, I honestly don't know what his availability is. You'd be best to call the township secretary, who would probably have a better idea. And so that
And
they
they
did
did,
take
and I
care
met
of it.
them
Yeah.
actually at Fire Hall and signed it, and she was off and running with it, so.
Okay, well, okay, that's good. Then I'll just have to check to see if they sent me a copy of it, but
Yeah, I could, where I was at, I couldn't get a copy of it, so
I have an email from the realtor from when that occurred
Okay.
a couple weeks ago.
All right.
And I can go back to them.
Okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure I made a note to make sure I told you that.
I knew they intended to get a hold of you. I was unaware that they actually had.
They did.
Okay, so good. All right. So you want me to get into the two items?
Go ahead,
that
sir.
I have? All right. First of all, on the easements that still remain outstanding, and the issues of proceeding with eminent domain. I have received a number of additional easements back in the last month. There were also a couple that we had to change, for example, the ones from the township to the authority because they still had Paul's name mentioned. Those are all straightened out and we can get those signed after we're done. Dave and I had an opportunity to meet since last month, and we went over the binder of the reviews, and I had requested that he get me a copy, and there it is, he brought it. Okay, so I'm going to begin to go through this and send letters out to the ones that we couldn't approve, and there's details as to each one, and a worksheet, if you will, that was used you guys that were involved in that know what I'm talking about. And it will explain the reasons why it couldn't be accommodated. It could be because it was technically not possible, or it was cost prohibitive, or whatever. Those will go out to the people that can't be accommodated with a new copy of the same easement they were asked to sign previously. And again, you know, sorry we couldn't accommodate you, but we'd still like you to sign the easement, basically. If they refuse, then they fall into the eminent domain category. The ones that could be accommodated, we're waiting on drawings back from Dave's people to do that, so that we can revise those particular easements and say, hey, great news, we were able to accommodate your request. Here's the easement, sign it. I hope most of them will, and they weren't just playing games, asking for revisions and then still refuse to sign, but we'll see what happens. The process of getting all that out, it's probably going to be, and I understand this because of having to get the maps revised, we're pushing a little bit further than we originally were hoping, but I don't think we're going to have those for at least another month. Would that be
Yeah, there
fair?
were 64 reviews, 34 denials. We just can't make the accommodate the change. So we have 20 revisions to make, and then there's 10 that I still need to get into a little bit more.
So
And
hopefully.
that's pretty good. If you've had 64 and it looks like
Yeah.
you're gonna be able to do almost half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close
Yep.
to half.
Yes.
I think that's,
Yeah, with minor, either actually a cost savings in some cases, or otherwise just a small little.
Yeah, mine was a cost savings.
Good, thank you.
So we'll be looking for, hopefully, you know, I'm not gonna try and put them on under a deadline with it being December and the holidays,
Right.
but hopefully we'll be close, if not there, in terms of having that ready by next month. I don't know that it'll happen before next month. I'm just gonna point that out. But I think by the latest, by February, we will have covered everything that's left to cover as to the right-of-ways. Every option will have been explored to do it on an amicable basis with people. And at that point, you guys can decide to proceed forward with eminent domain. That kind of moves me into the second topic, which is the plant site property that we had the appraisals done on. And we had discussed somewhat in executive session, but there's no problem now moving it to public discussion for the most part with the Nagy's who own the property. I actually have been in communication with their real estate agent since it was listed for sale. After our discussions at the last meeting that were in executive session, I did inform them that they would have the option of signing over the entire parcel to us, which we don't need,
right.
at a higher price. That way they're not being left with part of a parcel after we take what we do need, or sign over part of the parcel. And if neither of those were acceptable, we would proceed with eminent domain as to just what we need, and then they can keep the rest. My response to that was simply that she would pass it on to the Nagy's and let me know if they were interested, and I haven't heard anything. That was just a couple days after the meeting, so I think that the answer is that they're not interested. We're going to have to proceed with eminent domain. I need this board to vote in public session to have that occur so that we're covering the legalities of that. So if that is your inclination, that's your invitation right now for someone to make a motion to authorize me to proceed with eminent domain as to the plant site property that is owned by the Nagy's.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. Motion's been made and second. Any questions?
No.
Since it's being added to the agenda, any public comments?
I just had one, the siting of that plant, and that's part of my questions that we've been laying out there. Do you folks realize that this thing is next to a playground? In a picnic area? I mean-
that's a property that's available.
There's all sorts of property available. You guys are pumping the sewer forever. You could just go up the road a little bit and be away from everybody, like most plants are, instead of putting it beside a picnic area. My God. I mean, it's cheap, but it doesn't make any sense.
Half a mile up the road,
Yeah.
half a mile more pipe.
Guys, you guys busted your budget already. You're at $19 million plus. What's another couple $100,000 to do it right? This is the most expensive project. Probably
We
close to
we
it.
don't know the expense of the project yet because it hasn't been let out for bid, so.
Well, that's part of the questions on the engineer's estimate.
The motion's been made and second. Any other comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
I will then start on that. That will likely be filed before our next meeting then.
Okay.
Very good.
And as far as the easements, I appreciate what you guys have gotten done.
Yeah, we
last
kind of got
month. You
stalled there
really
for a
moved
little
way ahead
bit.
on that. We
Yeah.
got stalled before and it was kind of dragging, and I appreciate what you've done on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're moving in the right direction. So, thank you.
I just want to make one comment. I don't think eminent domain is what's available, by the way. Just for the record.
Anything else?
I have nothing further for my discussion.
New business?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do we have an allotment to plant spruce trees, pine trees around the plant?
We could. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's included currently, but yeah, that's always an option. A lot of times you'll have a, just like the utility
buffer.
allowance,
Buffer zone.
yeah, a landscaping allowance.
Because I also understand that helps with your,
Is this facility gonna be manned 24/7? You gonna have security there?
I'm not sure if we've gotten that far yet. Whether
Just
this
a
would be
question.
a contract
I asked-
agency.
Okay, all right, we've moved on.
Okay.
But that's something to look at as far as, any other new business? Jim?
None here.
George?
We're good.
All right,
Gary, I'm gonna interrupt you one second.
Yep.
For your new business, you need to decide when your meetings are gonna be for next year.
That's true.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that
For
up.
one,
We-
January, the first Wednesday falls January 1st, New Year's Day.
oh.
I see you have it listed as the 8th here. I see that.
I,
That's
Yeah,
what's
oh,
on
I
the-
did, yeah, I did.
It's on the agenda. Yeah, I was
I put-
thinking
I
the
put
same
that
thing,
on there
Sharon,
with
we
the
need
same
to
thing,
discuss
only-
that. I don't know if anyone's looked out
I'll have an
year
issue with
long
that
at the
because
first
that's when I
Wednesday of the
meet.
month. But,
8th, 5th, 4th, 1st.
Well, first Wednesday works the best for me because of all my other
It works
meetings.
same here.
for me.
I agree.
Other than January.
That's my,
Other
The
than
rest of the
January.
year.
January, we'll move it to the 8th.
Yeah.
I can't be here then.
Oh.
That's my meeting,
Okay.
or the second Wednesday.
Well, George will have to take
I'll meet up
notes.
with you before.
Okay,
We'll take care of business.
okay.
Let's do that, be the 8th
Right.
of January, and then every other month it's the first Wednesday.
Okay.
All right.
And typically, then it's requested that that be advertised along with the other notices by
Oh.
the township secretary.
I'll talk.
Paul usually would go talk to her about
Yep.
that, so I'm just bringing that up.
Because we were just talking yesterday about the township, when we're gonna do that, so.
Okay, good.
Okay,
That'll work, all right.
okay.